welcome back. LegalGlobalRadio.com. Legal Global Radio on Facebook. MMA Aftermath on Facebook also. Head over there and check it out. I am extremely under the weather tonight, so I'm gonna give it my all and probably give you maybe a round and a half. I'm gonna say, but like I said, man, I'm feeling like crap tonight, so bear with me. But to kick things off, pretty exciting night of fights. Luke Rockhold, Kostas Philippou. Two exciting fighters, man. I mean, he already proved to be with the last couple. Even in losing, these guys are exciting fighters. Rockhold, man, a sweet game plan. He's a guy that you can see go in there, basically land upstairs with the right hand, and come right behind that with a low kick, or vice versa, Land a nice right kick to the leg. Here comes the left, Chances are, a lot of times you're not seeing it come. It's bam, he lands. He does pretty damn good with that too. But Philippou, is a grizzled tough guy. Likes to work his way through all that crap, get in your face and start throwing bows, and just throw and style so far has done pretty good for him in the UFC. I mean, and before UFC, so kind of exciting to see what's going to happen with these guys. I'm going to go ahead and say it already. My pick is for Rockhold. I think this is a good matchup for Rockhold because I think Philippou will come at him enough to get Rockhold to really start opening up and land some serious shots. But at the same time, he can leave himself open as well. You know what I mean? So it's when it comes to that, it's kind of tough to say. You know what I mean? But Philippou's not really a ground guy, so I wouldn't say he, not saying he's not a ground guy, but he doesn't like to go to the ground as much as he likes to stand and bang. And same with Rockhold as well. He likes to stand and bang more than he does going to the ground, but he's no joke on the ground either. So it's definitely a cool matchup, man. And one thing I want to say real quick before I move on. Recently, it was on FightHype.com. I think it is Fight Hype. You just search Fight Hype, you'll find it. But I'm not ragging on anybody or whatever. I just kind of disagree with it a little bit. I'm sure some people out there have heard of Bloodstained Lane. Had a lot of. He used to talk about Pride a lot. He's guy's been talking about fights for a long time. But in a lot of aspects, I really respect the guy. He kind of no nonsense. Doesn't fart ass around. Just kind of gives his opinion on things, and has a little bit of a style to it, I guess. You know what I mean? But so with that in mind, he was never really the way I take it is he's never really too keen on just monopolizing and all that. How UFC's bought up a lot of the up and coming promotions and stuff like that. And he's recently mentioned how, like I said on Fight Hype, about how it's really changed the game overall. You know what I mean? A lot of what he's saying, it makes a lot of sense to me. But he was saying that boxing is on the rise right now, and MMA has kind of peaked already. I really kind of strongly disagree. I mean, UFC I think is doesn't really have their back to the wall, but I mean, UFC I think the injuries are getting out of control. I almost want to say Dana needs to start talking to some of these guys and saying, maybe you ought to back off the crazy ass training, because we're averaging pretty much an injury per card now. I mean, it's out of control in my opinion, and getting ridiculous because you can almost plan on every card having at least one injury, and sometimes maybe two. So with that being said, it's like, okay, these guys are being pressured to fight, or to train too hard. I mean, they're basically going in there, they're fighting while they're training, so that when they come into fight night, it's not as hard as they're training. You know what I mean? That when you train that hard, I mean, is it really worth it? I mean, think about it, man. 10, 20 years from now, you're going to be... Sure, man, you're gonna love it. Hey, man, I had a great life in that, but I can barely freaking walk now. You know what I mean? Or I can barely do this or do that. I mean, for all the glitz and glamour and everything else, I mean, is it really all worth it? Yeah, I can't even pick up my grandson because my back and legs and face, chest, breast, neck, and head are all battered and torn and beat up. I mean, I don't know. That's just a quick point, really. You know what I mean? But I think the over-excessive training, really sucks. But like I said, man, just a quick point thrown in there. But one thing I do want to mention before I move on is Lane also mentioned that, don't get me wrong, man, it's not like I'm trying to, piggyback off it, because I could really care less what he has to say or whatever, or what his point is. But I just want to throw it out there, because he's saying that boxing is on the rise right now, and I, and MMA is not doing as well. It's like I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but I mean, I think there are low points in MMA. I mean, I think over the last 4 or 5 years there's been low points, but I think it's still doing really well. It's doing amazing. It's still growing. It's still getting bigger and bigger. But I don't know, man. How can you really tell without years? Years going by and stuff like that. Right now, you compare MMA to 2005 or 2004 to now, it's ridiculously huge. I don't see how you can gauge that or how you can tell that it's already peaked and now it's on its way down. I don't see how you can tell, how anybody can tell that. So, anyhow, just some quick thoughts on the Fight Hype article. Anyway, man, we're gonna move on here. UFC Fight Night 35. Pretty exciting night, man. I definitely tell you that right out the get-go, man. Some highlight matchups for me. Obviously, Rockhold, Philippou. Lorenz Larkin, always a fun guy to watch fight, man. Brad Tavares. It's a cool matchup, man. It's a damn cool matchup, so do not miss that one, man. Lorenz Larkin, always flashy, always a very busy fighter, man. Great striker, man. Great striker. Probably needs a little bit of groundwork, Tavares might have a really good chance of landing if you getting this to the ground and working on Larkin there. You know what I mean? But I certainly wouldn't take too much away from Larkin when it comes to footwork and getting hands moving and shit like that. So it's definitely going to be exciting, man. T.J. Dillashaw, Mike Easton. One thing I'm going to say about this fight right here: Dillashaw should mow over Mike Easton. Mike Easton, I think, is at best a decent boxer, and that's it. I don't see what else. I hate to rag on the guy. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have a huge career in UFC right now. But, he's obviously, made somewhat of a name for himself. I believe he's coming off the show, the Tough Show. He's coming out of the Tough Show. Where he was before that, I really don't know a whole lot. I don't know a shit ton about the guy. But T.J. Dillashaw, much more of a well-rounded fighter. Could probably take this fight wherever he wants to take it. And Easton, I just think Easton, if anything at all possible, has maybe a puncher's chance. And I just don't see it. I think Dillashaw's faster, more well-rounded, and just a smarter fighter, I think. I think this is going to be a bad night for Easton. Just my opinion. Jeez, man. I'm filling up here, man. It's getting hard to breathe. They got some Alka-Seltzer Plus. Hopefully that'll do the trick, man. Hopefully. Like I said, man, under the weather big time tonight. So, and Dan has been busy, man, working a lot. So, wasn't able to make it. He's hoping to get here soon and call in before quitting time here. So, hopefully we'll see him shortly. But like I said, man, just talking about the card tomorrow night. Fox Sports 1. All you cable users can check it out. Hopefully Fight Pass people can check it out too, because that's been an issue there too, man. There was a big article on Fight Pass about how there's some real holes in their whole setup, you know, their whole security, whatever. So I don't know. A lot of people out there, I wouldn't get too scared about it just yet. You know, it's very new. It's brand new. They're probably still working on a lot of that stuff. You know, working on a lot of kinks. You know, until they can better it or whatever. You know, one of the guys on, I think it was Sherdog. He has a past in. I don't remember his name. I apologize for that, but he has a past in computer technology. You know, what have you. But and he mentioned that the platform basically they're using is very easy for hackers to get in and get passwords and you know, it's very easy for a hacker to get in and get the information from a user that uses their email as their login name. That's pretty much the setup they have as far as I know. I don't know. I'm not signed up to it, which I've considered it, but you know, it's free up until March. But being that there's, you know, rough news about it and stuff like that right now, it's like, it's kind of like, I don't know, man. You know, I already got already got enough information out there to to just send my card numbers, you know, to a bunch of other places. So man, if you're not like a diehard fan and you want to see every single card, I wouldn't even worry about Fight Pass right now, man. Let them work out the kinks. But if you've already signed up to it, like I said, man, I don't think you got a ton to worry about, man. I mean, it's not like these guys. I don't know. I really don't know. But you know, I wouldn't think these guys are like, you know, waiting at the back door here trying to, you know, kick the door down and get every password they can. Who knows, man? Maybe they do. Maybe that's, you know. You ever see the movie Hackers? Who knows, man? Maybe they do. Who knows? But John Moraga, Dustin Ortiz. Going to be a sick-ass fight. Moraga, I think, is coming off a win after a title shot loss, I believe. But, or title contention loss, anyway. Can't hold me to that one, but, it's a fight I do remember, but I don't remember whether it was a contender match or not. But if Dustin Ortiz, man, very impressive dude. Dustin Ortiz weighing in 124, Moraga weighing in 126. Definitely both very impressive guys, man. Ortiz, I swear the guy looks like if maybe Bruce Leroy, Caceres, Bruce Leroy and Forrest Griffin had a child, it'd be Dustin Ortiz. And I'm not ragging on Dustin, man, nothing like that. It just, he looks a lot like Forrest Griffin to me, with a bit of the classic fro, man. You know what I mean? He's got that look. But anyhow, man, I thought it was funny when it just hit me one day, so I thought it was funny. I just throw it out there. But Cole Miller, a fighter that I've always been excited about. I think he's just a well-rounded, good fighter, man. I think he's pretty much got a solid game everywhere. Sam Cecilia seems to be pretty much the same deal, man. Sam Cecilia is not the same experience of a Cole Miller, but I mean, just tenacity, you know, and this guy's, I don't even want to say up and comer, man. I mean, the guy's already here, in my opinion, but it's going to be a sick fight, man. You know, and I think that's a hell of a piece in your resume, man. If Sam Cecilia can pull this fight out, that's in my opinion, man. That's a heck of a win for him. He's able to pull that off. So And same for Cole Miller, man. It'd be a nice fight for him to, hey, squash your up and coming, Forget about coming up here, man. Forget about it. But, like I said, man, overall, I think it's a really good night. Really good night of fights. I'm going to wrap it up here in a bit, but before I do so, I'm going to take a little break here. Just to, keep my wits about me. But anyway, we'll be right back, man. You guys check out illegalelbow.com and MMA Aftermath on Facebook, Illegal Elbow Radio on Facebook. And we'll see you back in a couple minutes here. All right, people, we're taking a quick break here, man. We will be right back. But meantime, I want to give you a little history. Dan and myself, way back in the day, we've always gotten into a lot of boxing matches, heavyweight boxing, stuff like that. Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, those kind of fights. We always look forward to big guys, big heavyweight guys going at it. Thus, why my homepage, illegalelbowradio.com, is I call it the home for heavyweights. So, 93, 94, Dan and I really started getting into UFC, man. We saw some of the first tournaments and stuff like that way back when, and we were hooked dead to rights, man. So we started really getting into it, and started doing the show about 4 years ago. Here we are, 2013, kicking ass, still doing it. So, but we will be back shortly, man. So hang out and pull up a chair, grab a cigarette, grab whatever you're drinking, man. And here's a toast. We shall be back in just a minute. Couple things I want to throw out there tonight before I shut down is you want to head over to illegalelbowradio.com, illegalelbow.com. I actually just posted a fight of, not a fight, but a pre-fight discussion about Fight Night 35. It's actually on YouTube. Just throwing kind of props. These guys are pretty good, man. Round 5. They talk about what's coming on. They run down all kinds of stuff, man. It's couple of funny guys, cool guys. Good video though. Like I said, round 5. You can't miss it. You know what I mean? It's just like your generic show, I guess. But I'm not sure. I don't know what network they're on. Obviously, Fight Network or something like that. But that's what it's under, is Fight Network. But also LegalElbowRadio.com. There's a heavyweight forecast. I want to run down that real quick, man. And then I'm going to jump into the top 20 heavyweights. Just a quick update, man. Some heavyweight fights coming up. Anthony Hamilton taking on Daryl Schoonover. Excuse me, that's Schoonover. MFC 39, January 17th. Coming up this weekend, this Friday, I believe. You guys remember Titties from the show. I think it was Top 10, I think. But, maybe not top 10. I don't know what the... Yeah, I think it was top 10, actually, but, anyway, man, it was a very disrespectful, name to call him, but hey, that's Rampage, man. That's how he rolls, I guess, but... Anthony Johnson versus Mike Kyle, World Series of Fighting 8, this Saturday. It's not a fight that I'm really all that, pumped up for. But at the same time, I do believe they were supposed to fight before Mike Kyle got injured. So, yeah, we're getting back to it, I guess. That's kind of cool. Next weekend, Gabriel Gonzaga, Stipe Miocic, which I'm super excited for, man. I'm so excited for Miocic to get back into the mix of what he put together. You know what I mean? Just the few fights that he put together in the UFC. The guy looks so promising, and then I think what really put kind of a stink in his kind of a banana peel in his path there was Stefan Struve, basically. Stefan Struve, I believe, stopped him, knocked him out. I believe. I know he won anyway. But Gonzaga, Miocic, UFC on Fox 10, January 25th. It's going to be good, man. Also on that same card, Walter Harris taking on Nikita Krylov. Krylov, I'm really wanting to see again here soon. So I'm going to see it. And it's definitely something to be pumped up about because this guy's got a pretty promising career right now, man. I believe he's still undefeated, or maybe a loss or two in there. I don't know for sure, but I believe he's still undefeated, man. Like I said, don't hold me to that, but I've been watching this guy here and there, and guy's something to see, man, for sure. So Walter Harris just recently fought Jared Rolsholt. It's funny because these guys are both on this card. Jared Rolsholt, I was not at all excited about because the guy, I don't know how he got in the UFC, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know what happened to the guy, but it was a shit showing against Walter Harris. So hopefully coming back here, January 25th against Alexei Olenek. Hopefully he can show a little bit more, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think Rolsholt's got a whole long way to go in UFC. I think he'll be probably out in the next couple fights. By the way, his first fight looked, but first fight doesn't always tell what's what. You get them jitters, whatever. A lot of people talk about that, but shortly after that, Frank Mir versus Alistair Overeem. Super excited for that, but at the same time, it's like, man, Frank Mir better pull a fucking rabbit out of his hat. Or out of his ass, or whatever, or something, because I've said it once, I've said it a fucking 1,000 times already. This guy talks himself into winning fights before he even gets in the cage, and when he gets in there, he tells himself he's okay when he starts getting his ass kicked. Oh, no big deal, we're getting a couple punches to the face, no big deal, man, let's grab a hold of him. And then by the time he tells himself he's okay, he's already been knocked out. And it's just like, you know what, I'm tired of seeing this. So at the same time, it's like, you know what, Frank Mir, if he plays his cards right and is crafty in this fucking fight, which Alistair Overeem to me has everything in his arsenal, in his offense, to shut down Frank Mir quickly. You know what I mean? I'm talking first round knockout here, first round, what have you. But Alistair Overeem doesn't have the greatest chin in the world. We've seen that. We've noticed that before. But the guy is his cardio's good. The first 2 rounds, his cardio's badass. Going into the third, cardio's probably still going to be good. Just depends what kind of pressure you put on the guy. Frank Mir better apply some pressure. That's all I got to say. Apply some pressure from the get-go. Hopefully he's been working with some better striking coaches because I think Frank Mir's lacking in striking when it comes to trying to stand toe-to-toe or anywhere near toe to anything with Alistair Overeem. So that's just my opinion. Matt Mitrione versus Sean Jordan. Matt Mitrione, in my opinion, the last couple times out, he's ready to go with anybody, but he doesn't take it very seriously because he starts getting clobbered. He smiles and acts like he's, having a good time on Queer Street when he's about ready to get knocked the fuck out. So Sean Jordan, plays his cards right, man. He could be able to, bang Mitrione out, but at the same time, it's like, Mitrione's, got some good striking to him, but he doesn't have the experience of a Sean Jordan. So I mean, it's kind of tough to say though, man. These guys are still very new. Both these guys are still pretty new in the game, I guess. Mainly Mitrione, but we've seen some good striking out of the guys, so I don't see this going to the ground much. Unless Mitrione's really trying to change up his game, and maybe he might try to take Sean Jordan down, which could be tough. Who knows? LeVar Johnson, Ryan Martinez, Bellator 111, March 7th. Mighty Mo, Peter Graham, also same card. Alexander Volkov, former champion, taking on Mark Halata, same card, March 7th, Bellator 111. Ivanov taking on Rich Hale. Also same card. So we got a heavyweight tournament for Bellator going on right there. Pretty much the prelims, you know what I mean? The whole first deal, you know, whatever. Prelim fights, basically the whole tournament. So we'll see what happens with that. And kind of excited to see what's going to happen with Volkov, you know what I mean? Coming off a loss to Vitaly Minakov. Vitaly Minakov, I'm pretty excited about, man. But I'm going to go over the top 20 heavyweights of MMA, which, like I said, is on legalobo.com. It's first left area of the page, top of the page. Start from the bottom, go up to the top. And first of all, I'm going to explain the criteria. Basically, this is what it's based on. Your quality of opponent. You know, what are you fighting? A bunch of nobodies? Or are you fighting top guys? That's basically what it is. You know, who are you fighting? Last 5 fights. You know, how many wins have you compiled? You know, how many? You know, are you getting your fucking ass kicked? You know, I mean, you're like, how good are you doing in your last 5? And your activity. You know, if you're one of them guys that, oh man, I just want to fight once a year, or you know, once every year and a half. You know, you're probably not going to do very good on my list. So, you know, it's to me, it's the best. It's the best criteria I could come up with. You know, I didn't want to have the same. Oh man, no, this guy just beat this guy, so that catapults him in a number 4 spot. You know, no, it doesn't, because he's still not as good as, you know, the last few that he's passing. You know, I mean, you can't just catapult this guy way up the ladder because he, you know, got a surprising win over somebody. You know, so a lot of people already know that anyway, but that's basically the list. I'm going to break it down real quick here, man. Sean Jordan's number 20. Yeah, and he's with the UFC, obviously. Anthony Johnson's number 19, World Series of Fighting. Which, like, I want to keep mentioning too, man. You gotta watch quality of opponent in the last 5 fights, man, because these guys, some of these guys, you might kind of question. Wait a minute, well, why is he in there? You got to look at the last 5 fights, man. Quality of opponent, because every guy on here is active enough. You know what I mean? So some guys are not active enough, so they're lower on the list than I would normally put them. So Alexander Volkov, number 18, Bellator. Number 17, Brendan Schaub, UFC. Number 16, Antonio Bignog. A lot of people will probably disagree with that, but the guy, you know, on average fights once a year and hasn't really done that great lately. So Vitaly Minakov, number 15, Bellator, just became the champ, heavyweight champ. Czech Congo is set to fight Vitaly Minakov. So we should see that soon, probably in one of these upcoming cards pretty soon. Actually, I don't remember the date, but it has been set, I do believe. So Gabriel Gonzaga, number 14. Czech Congo, like I just mentioned, Bellator, number 13. If he loses, though, I can see him going down maybe a spot or 2 on this list. And then if he's not able to hang with Bellator fighters, then he might go down this list pretty quick. But Stipe Miocic, UFC, number 12. Stefan Struve at number 11, hanging on tight, man. He's coming off that broken jaw from his fight with Mark Hunt. But, still a nice spot in the list. You know what I mean? Was really looking really good, too. Breaking into the top 10. I think he bumped down 1 spot because of, you know, non-activity and stuff. But Frank Mir, number 10. Frank Mir was actually a lot higher, but he's moved down the list because of a couple of losses and not much activity. You know, just not much activity over the last couple of years. You know what I mean? Not that he hasn't been, you know, active, but you know, not as active as some of the other guys around there. So I mean, I try to keep it as fair as I can, man. But it's not always. Not always easy to do. Number 9, Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson could be looking at a drop here soon because just with recent losses and stuff like that, it just doesn't look good. You know, Stipe Miocic really kind of did a number on him, kicked the shit out of him, in my opinion, and actually brought Stipe up the list a little bit too, because I had Stipe around the 15-16 area, and he's in 12th spot now. So Stipe taking on a Gonzaga will do nicely. I wouldn't say catapult him up the list, but would really do nicely because it's just that you're adding to that quality of opponent. So it's just gonna keep you up on that list and not bring you down. You know what I mean? So he's solidifying more of a ground underneath his feet, basically, in my list. Antonio Silva just got busted for failed drug test, number 8. Alistair Overeem, back-to-back losses. This guy, things are looking rough. Same as Mir. You know what I mean? This could be a lot of people would say this could be a pink slip fight, with him and Mir. I don't know, man. I think UFC getting rid of Frank Mir or Alistair Overeem, I don't know if it's such a great idea. I would think getting rid of Alistair Overeem before you get rid of Frank Mir would be a dumb idea, I think. Because I think Alistair Overeem still has a lot more star power when it comes to worldwide more than Frank Mir. Just my opinion, though. But Josh Barnett, number 6. His last loss was rough, man. I think he really needs to start, kicking things in shape here and start getting some wins, or he might start, heading down the list. But number 5, Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt's been looking really good, man. It seems like when he finds himself in a tough spot, it's usually with the top, obviously with Junior Dos Santos. That's the only time he's really found himself in a really, really hard spot. So, Mark Hunt is really, I think Mark Hunt could really knock out anybody in the top 5 right now. You know what I mean? He's that kind of guy that will land that lucky punch. You know what I mean? So, and any one of these guys can fall victim to that punch. So, Travis Brown, number 4. Travis Brown got that spot because of his last few wins. Because I think a lot of people would beg to differ. Maybe, I don't know if Travis Brown is that high yet. Well, I gave him that spot because he's just been on vicious wins over top competition. Gonzaga and Barnett have both suffered the same loss against Travis Brown, which I didn't necessarily agree with at first. But it's like, hey man, if elbows to the side of the head are okay. Because I thought a couple of those might have landed to the back of the head, but after rewatching it, it's like, no, man, those are all side of the head. Hey, if elbows to the side of the head are okay, then shit. This guy's got a solid game plan when it comes. You want to take this guy into the cage, and try to take him down? Bad idea, man. Bad idea. Said to be the next fight for Travis Brown is Fabricio Verdum, number 3. Also UFC, obviously. I think that's a sick-ass fight. I could see Brown getting that by a possible knockout. But if it goes anywhere near the ground, Travis Brown can be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Because Verdum has got a sick assault these days with, being back with Cadero, his old trainer from years ago. He's been back with him for a while now. And he's the same guy that used to train the Axe Murderer, back in Axe Murderer prime days, you know what I mean? That's that guy that used to train him. So, I mean, that's the Fabricio Verdum we're seeing these days. It's just a sick, a sick Muay Thai striker, and great stand-up striking kicks, and whatnot. So, Junior Dos Santos, number 2. Needs to stick with top competition and stay in the game. Otherwise, he can start falling too. Because if he comes in here as a boxer, and wants to just box everybody and win, basically not boxer. I shouldn't say boxer. I should say kickboxer because his last win was a head kick KO. So, but you can't. You got to learn some ground game, dude. When you see your ground game, you have 0 ground game right now. I think Junior Dos Santos' best idea right now is to find a new camp. Because I think them guys have done the best they can do with him. The Nog, he trains with the Nog brothers. He's done the best he can do with them. I think he's plateaued. I don't think he can go any further with them. He needs to find new people to push him in different directions. And keep him working or something. You know what I mean? Because The 2 fights with Cain Velasquez, Cain Velasquez mopped the fucking floor up with his ass, and he came in with the same game plan in both fights. You can't do that, man. You have to change it up, and if you're not training to change it up, then you need to find a new camp, man. You just have to if you want to be a champion again. And obviously, number 1, Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez is worked hard, changed his game, done whatever he had to do to get the win, man, and he does it in great fashion. I mean, it's not like a ground and pound, boring ass lay and pray match. No, it's a I'll beat your fucking ass fight. You know what I mean? I'll end it quick too. Cain Velasquez is a guy to beat right now, man. That's for damn sure. So, and I've doubted him in the past because I still do believe a good striker can get in there and land a good one on Cain's chin, like Junior did before. I believe that before Junior did it. You know what I mean? And I saw, Czech Congo landed a nasty shot on him. Almost dropped his ass. But he was able to regain composure and get back to it, and here he is. Holy shit, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, man, there's a couple little things I want to add to the show, just for flavor and whatnot, but hopefully you like it. Go ahead, feel free to comment, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Hopefully you guys like Spreaker. And hopefully you like illegalelbow.com as well. Let me know what you think over there. But if you want to catch up on shows or whatnot or anything, you can always head over to illegalelbow.com to catch up on Spreaker shows. Well, you can also see older, more recent, I guess. They're recent shows, but Hunt Silva pre-fight, St. Pierre Hendricks post-fight, on Blog Talk Radio. Just search Illegal Elbow, you'll be able to find them. Or you can find them on illegalelbow.com. So, well, that's it, man. We are done for the night, people. Hopefully you guys dug it, man. I did the best I could under the conditions. I'm sick like an animal. My nose is completely plugged, and that's pretty much it, man. That is basically... It's basically what I think.
Who gives a fuck what you think?
Yep. Oh, well, nice. Nice of me to say that. But anyway, man, we're going to get out of here, people, man. Everybody have a good night, and enjoy the fights tomorrow night, man. We'll see you guys.
Gives a fuck what you think? Who gives a fuck what you think?
What do these words mean? Feel the aggression, punk. Feel the aggression, punk.
Who gives a fuck what you think?